The heck is going on down here? I don't know.
Strong likelihood that the next Pearl Harbor that we confront could very well be a cyber attack.
Broke down. The machines broke down.
Fear came back into the market in a very big way.
Exposing the fact that there are vulnerabilities in the government systems.
Definitely a very, very difficult time, and it's not going to get better quickly.
Lead hackers believed to be working with Russian intelligence apparently hacked the New York Times.
Google says the personal email accounts of several hundred people have been breached.
Bank, the Federal Reserve, a 21st century thief breaking into files, not into metal safes. The mysterious group, Anonymous, has struck again with a warning. This is just the beginning.
Every 39 seconds, a hacker launches an attack somewhere on the internet. That could be a teenager in a bedroom, or a professional team backed by millions. Either way, the method is the same. They don't break in by force. They think their way in. Most people picture code and screens. Hackers picture systems and habits. They see hidden doors where we see walls. Once you start seeing what they see, the world looks dangerously different. By 2025, cybercrime will cost the world over $10 trillion. Billion-dollar companies, small stores, your email, nothing is immune. And the crazy part? Most catastrophes don't start with some Hollywood-level exploit. They start with curiosity, sloppy ops, and tiny details no one cared about. Let's be specific. Let's get inside that mind. First rule, think in systems, not sites. You don't target a single app. You target the entire stack around it. A PIS, third-party libraries, old servers in dusty racks, developer laptops that still have production credentials. Every one of those is part of the attack surface. Imagine a banking app. You log in, see a polished UI. A hacker doesn't stop there. They watch the network calls. They see an API that returns user data with a single token. They find a plugin that transcodes images and forgets to validate file types. They notice a forgotten FTP server where backups sit unencrypted. One tiny overlooked piece of infrastructure can be the lever that lifts a whole system. Take SolarWinds. That wasn't a flashy smash-the-door attack. It was a supply chain compromise. Hackers planted malicious code inside software that hundreds of companies trusted. Update that software, and you give attackers a key to the kingdom. A trusted update became a backdoor. That's systems thinking. If you control the supply chain, you control the rest. Second rule, obsess over edge cases. Most software is built for the happy path, what the designers imagine. Hackers ask what the designers didn't imagine. What if I upload an image that's actually executable code? What if I chain multiple odd inputs together? What happens if a password field accepts a 10,000 character string? Edge cases begat entire classes of bugs. SQL injection started because someone tried entering a database command instead of a username. Buffer overflows started because code assumed inputs would be small. These aren't obscure academic topics. They were everyday mistakes turned giant. One wrong character, one unexpected input, millions of records leaked. Now the human factor. This is the part that scares everyone but also makes hacking human and strangely simple. Code can be patched. People click. Social engineering is no longer some generic click this link trick. Real attackers do reconnaissance. They scrape LinkedIn, match company calendars, parse email signatures, and mimic tone and timing perfectly. Remember the Target breach? Hackers didn't fight Target's encryption. They stole credentials from an HVAC vendor. One vendor. One credential. From there, they moved laterally into the network and out the other side with customer data. Or look at the Colonial Pipeline attack. A compromised VPN account and missing multi-factor authentication led to a shutdown that caused gas shortages across the East Coast. The technology failed because of human and configuration failures. But hacking isn't just stealing a password. It's chaining tiny things together. That's exploit chaining. Alone, small bugs are harmless. Combined, they become catastrophic. Here's a simple chain. Someone posts code on GitHub and accidentally leaves a credential. An attacker grabs it, logs into a developer console, seeds a credential into a build pipeline, and now every build contains a backdoor. From the build pipeline, they get into CI/CD systems, then to Cloud Console, then to production data. Nobody ever saw a single break, and each step was minor. Each step was ignored. Together, it's game over. Hackers also learn to think laterally. They don't always go for the crown jewels first. They pivot from email to Slack, from Slack to SSO token, from token to cloud. Each pivot is small, plausible, and quietly unnoticed. Next, the creative technical angles. Some of the most impressive hacks don't touch the app logic at all. They attack the physical side channels. Side channel attacks are brilliant in their ugliness. Instead of breaking encryption, attackers measure tiny physical differences: how long a CPU takes to respond, minor power fluctuations, electromagnetic emissions. Those signals leak information. Attackers read timing differences, noise, even acoustic signatures from processors. It's like reading a whisper across the room and learning a password from the way someone breathes. That's not Hollywood. That's real, and it's used to pry into systems thought to be unbreakable. Then there are 0 days, the vulnerabilities vendors don't know exist. For a hacker, finding a 0 day is like discovering a secret room with no lock. For defenders, 0 days are a nightmare because you can't patch what you don't know. Markets exist for these vulnerabilities. Governments buy them. Criminals hoard them. It's a hidden economy built on surprise. So how do hackers find these things? Not by luck. They experiment. They fuzz inputs. They throw malformed packets at servers. They automate weirdness and watch for crashes. When something behaves oddly, they focus on it like a detective. The process looks chaotic, but it's methodical. Hypothesize, test, observe, repeat. Now let's flip the script for a moment and talk about defense, because understanding the hacker mind tells you exactly where defenses fail. Companies buy firewalls, intrusion detection, and threat intelligence feeds. All of that helps. But many defenses assume separation between people and systems. They assume the human will never be fooled. That assumption breaks daily. Defense needs to match hacker thinking. Harden the attack surface by reducing complexity. Remove old APIs. Rotate credentials. Adopt least privilege so a single credential doesn't open everything. Use strong multi-factor authentication and consider phishing-resistant methods like hardware keys. Test for edge cases using fuzzing and red teams that think like attackers, not auditors. Bug bounty programs are another interesting flip. They pretend to invite attackers in, legally. Companies pay outsiders to find bugs before criminals do. It's a market-based defensive hack. Let the curious test your systems for reward. Smart companies pair bounties with rapid patching. Otherwise, rewards just make the market for vulnerabilities more visible. Let's land on mindset differences. Engineers often optimize for features, speed, and scalability. Hackers optimize for assumptions, failure modes, and unexpected interactions. Where engineers ask, "How can I make this work?" Hackers ask, "How can this break?" That question is the generator of creative attack vectors. A classic story. Kevin Mitnick, a hacker who used psychology as much as code, convinced phone operators to reset passwords and gave him access. His greatest skill wasn't a keyboard. It was reading people and manipulating trust. Jonathan James, who breached NASA, wanted to see what he could do. He found a forgotten system and used it as a learning ground. These stories underline a truth. Curiosity without restrictions can be weaponized. Finally, a practical takeaway for anyone watching. Adopt parts of the hacker mindset yourself. Think in systems, hunt for edge cases, question assumptions. Not to break things, but to make better decisions. Whether you're building software, running a business, or just protecting your personal accounts, seeing the cracks before attackers do creates a huge advantage. If you like this video, stay tuned, because the truth is always hidden until you decode it.